Hey up pond lovers, so yeah, today I need to get the rest of the filtration sorted. So it's the next day for me, but we've got the bottom of the Bakki shower down here. The net with the small fish in it failed. They pecked and pecked and pecked until they pulled threads out, so he's either in there somewhere or he's actually been eaten. But yeah, I'll let you know if I see him or her. Yeah, so I've got to get the rest of the Bakki shower media over. I've left it soaking overnight because I knew I was going to do it today, so hopefully there's a bit of bacteria in there, but it's mainly alpha grog on the top. There was an awful lot of oyster shells in it, but they have literally biodegraded, so there's not a lot of them left. 2 or 3 I think. That one and that one is the only one that's almost whole, and then there's a few fragments and bits in there. Little bit of filter floss was on the top, not that that does a lot, and then underneath all this is a load of CSM, but I have got some Biohome to stick in here as well. There is a little bit in there, but I've got a load more to stick in, so I'm going to get this set up and snap back to you. There's actually a handful or 2 of pumice in there as well, but that's what's left of a bag of oyster shells. Fragments. I'm going to chuck them back in. When they degrade, they degrade. But some Biohome Ultra and Ultimate, not a lot, but I've got a bucket load more, and then that's just a handful that I haven't thrown in yet. But yeah, snap back to you in a bizzle. So this is the old aquarium filter that was running at the back of the blue vat. It was certainly due a clean out, as you can tell, but I kept putting it off because I knew this day wasn't too far away. But then obviously everything kept going wrong and blah blah blah. But as you can see, I'm getting rid of some of the muck. I'm gonna have to give this a good rinse in the leftover pond water. But yeah, absolutely full to the brim of Biohome Ultimate, and should have 3 trays just full of that in here. Yeah, this was definitely due a clean out. Oh no, 2 trays and some ceramic media. Oh well, can chuck the ceramic media in there, and some plastic balls. Anything else? Oh no, there's another tray. What's in the bottom? No, just plastic balls. I knew there was 1 tray of plastic balls. Oh well. Right, I'm going to get all this washed, and if I can fit the balls in the top of the shower, I'll chuck them in and all. Oh, there it is in situ. I don't know if I'm showing you the media in the top there, but I can't get in there. But yeah, so that's all now in situ. We've got a good overhang on the lip. Oh no! Little buggers. They ate him. Little. That's really upset me, that has. Yeah, it happens, I suppose. Survival of the biggest, as they say in the fish world. Oh man, seeing something like that, it's a bit different if you come down and it's happened, but actually seeing it getting eaten live, it was dead when I scooped it out. But yeah, speaking of missing fish though, I reviewed a little bit of that footage, just looking at the fish in the bowl. Apologies for the shoddy camera work and light and everything. You got what you got. But yeah, there's a few fish that I was excited to net out of there that never came. There was only one nice Benikikikuru. There was a better one than that always used to come up for food, but he didn't come out, and he was a big fish, so he certainly didn't get eaten by the koi. Obviously there's a lot in there, so it's hard to remember exactly which fish is what and whatnot. But also, you remember I obviously moved all the fish over from the little net that used to be floating on there. One of them was a little tench. That little tench never came out. So I think we've had a few either escapees or a predator. what I did notice today, can't see it at the minute, but I got a bucket that I stuck down here because I did have one jumper once escape, and I thought, well, if I stick a bucket there and he do manage to get out, it'll land in there. But then obviously I put the covers on and never thought another thing of it. But I chucked a few handfuls of pond plants and stuff in there just in case back before I put the covers on. But there appears to be at least one, because I've seen it, fish in there. So I'll try and catch that by the end of the video. But yeah, that's that bit done. Lid, glue, get it sorted. I've just been today, Japan Koi Imports, that I've just been up and grabbed a big old bag of bits. One of the bits I needed was this rubber 90 because I can't find the one I had for the life of me. But this is the lid of the Bakki shower, and it's basically a great big rainfall shower. It's got a bit of a vacuum in the lid, so you can fill it up quite close to the shower, and as you can see around the top of the lid, it's got more oxygen and air holes on that, because as I've said before many a times, this Bakki shower used to be a protein skimmer. Well, technically still is. And voila, that'll do. I could have cut that pipe shorter and just gone 90 and then 90 that way, but it wouldn't have that last bracket, and that's quite a length to go without having somewhere to sort of hang it up, because the pipe's not very close to that back wall to put it on there. So I've left it like that anyway, but I'll give that 20 minutes, half hour to set, and then we'll get that bad boy on. Unfortunately it's been sat here now all afternoon, so it's probably very dry in there, so not a lot of bacteria available. Obviously we did see earlier as well that little fishy, bless his heart, got eaten. Still really gutted about that. It was a lovely little tancho shower. But hey ho, I have rescued the fish that was in the bucket. He is in here somewhere, and it is actually a Beni Kikikuriu. Not the one I was hoping for, but yeah, I'd say there's a couple of fish missing from there. So whether I've had predators again or what, I don't know, but didn't find any bones or carcasses or anything, and haven't yet cleaned out obviously the pressure filter, so but I very much doubt a whole carcass of a fish will be able to get through a pump with a basket on. But hey ho, if he does show himself, I will see if I can get a little video snippet, but obviously he's not been in here all that long, so he's a bit shy and timid and probably hiding somewhere. But yeah, I'll snap back to you once the glue's gone off on that last joint up there, and we'll see if the Tempest leaks. In the bag of bits that I've just been up to Japan Koi Imports to get, you saw me wave this bag a few weeks ago. I've got me EasyPod cleaning pipe, my bit of pipe to connect to the EasyPod airline, and a new Tempest valve, and some other bits and bobs which we will show you at a later date. But they're the bits I'm going to need today, so while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to get them set up. So yeah, their air's gone off. They're all a bit, what's going on again? Obviously the air stones are out. That's because I'm doing the air pump first. Now bear in mind, all this is going to be neatened up and tidied up at a later date. But this is my new air stone that I've just picked up from Japan Koi Imports. I would have liked an air bar, but yeah, I just couldn't afford, basically 75 quid for a little tiny air bar to go across there, so this will have to do for now. But it's a decent size 30 cm air stone, and I've got a big black hose, 8mm hose to connect onto that. I've also got a little 90 because I'm going to sit this flat on the bottom on this back wall, so I've just got to measure how much hose I'm going to need for that, and then get this cut to size. For now, as the others was, it is literally just going to be draped over the top, and then at a later date I'll be drilling a little hole through there, and the pipe will go right down in that corner and it will sit in the middle over here. So it's all plugged in, all ready to go. I just hope I've got enough hose to get it on the bottom. So I'm going to lower it down very carefully from inside here, and yeah, see how we go. God, I've just had enough hose to get it onto the bottom, and got a tiny bit of slack on the up and down, so it's going to have to sit somewhere close to this wall, although when it's drilled in at the bottom, obviously it's not going to need as much hose, so yeah, that will be plenty. Even if I am moving the pump somewhere else, obviously I'm gaining, well, that's 83 centimetres to the top of that bit of wood, nearly on both sides, so yeah, we have loads. Moment of truth though, that one's closed, that one's on, good. Let's plug it back in. For those of you that have been asking recently, yes, still using the vary switches, and yes, still no issues. I can hear noise from the pump, and I can see bubbles. Not perfectly dead centre, but not far off. That is a lot more surface movement than it was before. It'll do. I think I'll be able to turn that down a tad now with the old vary switch. Just tweak that a little. Can probably tweak it a little more than that. Obviously with these vary switches, the one other bonus of being able to actually control your air pump, technically if the diaphragms aren't working as hard, they last a bit longer, and the less power it actually uses. I reckon that's almost about there, maybe one more little touch. They are really sensitive. You can go literally 1 mil round, and sometimes it's such a big change, no air comes out your pump. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, see, big difference now, no ripples, but still plenty of bubbles. So obviously I'll be able to line it up better and whatnot on the floor when I can see the floor. But that'll be in the next video. But yeah, so what have I got left to do? We need to check to see if the EasyPod pipe and everything works, because I've not even tested that, which is a bit silly to put fish in before testing filters and whatnot. But yeah, let me crack it open, turn the pumps off, and we'll do a quick clean, I reckon. In fact, it's been plenty long enough now for that to set and dry, so rather than turn the pumps off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divert them. Oh no, can't do that. Need to shut the bottom drain off. So I hope I'm doing this right, because as I say, this is my first ever time with an EasyPod. But pumps off, or unplugged for now. Bottom drain's closed, return line's closed, because some of the fishies are probably still small enough to swim up there. And now we open the valve. We're probably going to have to turn the pump back up, and because that's dangling on a couple of wires at the minute, I'm going to use 2 hands. And there it goes. In fact, that might be just about the right power as it is. Using that does shut the air off going down there, but that's expectable. But yeah, obviously it's not as high to bubble the water out around the edge, but it'll do. Maybe for future I'll do a top up in the pond before I do the boil, because there's a good another inch or 2 that the pond can come up, which will then literally, that's already touching. Just touching the bottom lip only really needs to come up a centimetre. So yeah, it's not better in a bizzle. Told you I'm new to this. What have I gone and forgot? I bet you was all sitting there shouting at your telly screens. EasyPod cleaning pipe. Oops. But yeah, I've nicked the trickle in from the main pond, and I'm just topping up the filter a little bit. Won't hurt it, it's a brand new filter anyway. But yeah, oops. And this apparently sits in there somewhere, somehow. Is there a knack to this, people? Have I got it round the right way? I assume so. Slits it. Ah, there we go, we're in. We're in. Bit late now, there's an awful lot of muck in there, but never mind. He'll get caught on the next way round. Yeah, I'm going to let that bubble for 10-15 minutes and then drain it all off. So we've been bubbling away for a while. I'm going to get it all drained down now, and I'm topping up the pond already. Move the hose pipe out of the EasyPod now into the pond. I did forget to shut the pump off. I don't know if you actually need to do that or not, but it's been off now for a while. I've literally got my waste pipe going onto the lawn for today. It's just been sat here for a couple of days, but I am going to be changing this waste pipe and reducing it down to the smaller one, because then it can reach into my actual waste chute down there. But for the first time in weeks and weeks and weeks, first time this year to be honest, I can safely say we've not had any rain in Peterborough for 2 weeks. So watering the grass will do it good. I have no idea if you're supposed to leave the air bubbling whilst doing this, but hey ho, let's get it drained. And there she blows. Eee. So yeah, that'll do the grass some good. EasyPods hold a fair whack of water, don't they? Yeah, let's go and have a look. How are we looking in there? Now they do hold some water. It's still going down. I may end up, yeah, with a waterfall. Oh dear, so yeah, a lot of water's gone down in and around the pond, but that's fine, that's only gravel down there, so it's like a massive soakaway. The downside is an awful lot of it is going under my decking, because it's all concrete under there, or slabs anyway. This decking's built on the on top of the old patio. But hey ho, one bit of water won't hurt it. It never gets wet anyway, because obviously it never gets any rain. But that's all drained. Let's have a look. Ooh, it's a bit minging in there. That is why the hose pipe's out. Now we'll give it a quick blast with the old hose pipe. That's looking a bit cleaner. Yeah, I know I'm new to owning EasyPods, but I do think that's a bit of a design flaw where the waste valve is. Could do with being flat on the bottom really, because that's not even on the bottom, so no matter how much you hose all the crud round to that side, as you can see you're still left with a tiny bit of water in the bottom, so it's hard to get rid of every last bit. But yeah, I also did remove the black waste and blast down there with hose pipe, hopefully move some of that. But yeah, so let's open up the bottom drain and clean the bottom drain out. Facing the right way. And that's going to drain the pond. Certainly a good few inches, isn't it? Leave the trickling on for a fair while. Hopefully it'll be high enough to continue running. Should be. Although we've still got a fair bit to come up yet. That really does drain the pond down, doesn't it? We're at about 5 inches down. Still coming in here. Oh bugger! That's why. Waistline was still open. Oh, I'm new to this EasyPod malarkey. Oh dear. Yeah, that was probably another EasyPod's worth. Oops, now it's really going to be flooded under there. Never mind. And around the edge of the pond. Oh well, good job that's all gravel. Right, my mistake. So yeah, maybe not 5 inches down. So that's not too bad. And yeah, I think that's going to be high enough to at least turn the pump back on, I think. Right, let's find out. Let's plug it back in. Yes, the electrics will all be sorted. Got someone coming to do them. I don't want to do them myself. That's on, I think. Yeah, turn the air off. Oh, I'm way too new to this, aren't I? Shall I boil it again? No, let's just get it back running. I'm such an idiot. Obviously turn the pump back on, hadn't opened that valve, hadn't opened that valve. So it was just humming away without any water going through it. But it's on now. We are obviously very low in the old EasyPod now, because it's basically been dumped twice technically, at least water volume wise. I will learn, I will get there. But yeah, I don't know if there's enough water in the pond now to set that up. I might wait another little while. I'll turn the trickling up a little tiny bit and get us topped back up so we can turn the shower on. Snap back to you once it's all filled up. Yeah, couldn't be bothered to wait, so I whacked in some sodium thiosulfate and chucked in the hose pipe as well as the trickle in. So that'll fill up in no time now. But yeah, what was I going to say? One thing I have noticed about this pond compared to that vat is because this is obviously fully insulated. I know obviously it's got the greenhouse around it, and during the day and everything I leave it all closed up. I've even had obviously that block in the back there, can't fit again now because the pipe's back in place at the top, but I've had that block in that side as well, so we don't get any jumpers or whatnot. But my point that I was getting to is this pond is an awful lot more stable than what that one was, because that used to drop down to this time of year about sort of 20 degrees at night. By the time I got down to feed the koi first thing in the morning, it was already up to sort of 22, 23. And then on a day like today, where it's 30 degrees again in the garden, that vat would have been 27, 28 by now. And it's 4 o'clock, and yeah, be 28 odd degrees by now. And then obviously overnight again would drop down to between 20 and 22, depending on how cold the night was. Obviously people say koi don't like fluctuations. Well, these guys are going to be well used to it, so if anybody does have any of these koi out of here, don't worry if you're unheated. These guys can go up and down like the wind, But my point that I was getting to is this pond, the air source heat pump hasn't come on once. I've got it set to 24 degrees, hasn't come on once for the 3-4 days that they've been in there, but it's only at 24.5, and that is where it's basically sat for the last 3 or 4 days. Hasn't actually gone above that, like that vat would go up and up and up with the weather because of how insulated this is. It's actually getting more sun where it is now as well, but it's not skyrocketing through the roof, so that's a bonus. And this is their first water change since Saturday, and today's Monday. So yeah, coolio. I'm going to get them topped up, and we'll check the Tempest and the shower. So we're almost back to level, almost back to where we started. So I think there's enough water in the system to test this. So this time I'm not going to be making any mistakes with valves. I'm going to just open them all starting backwards. 1, 2, last one. I might need to turn the pump up a bit, I don't know. Which way do we go? I've started it, so there we go. And instantly we've got a leak. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, this is why I bought a new valve, but I'm just going to fill it up and I'll change the valve in a minute. Just want to see. Yeah, that's a slow rise. That's not going to be enough flow for the shower, methinks. Let's turn the pump up a tad. This currently was only on 10. Let's go 30. Now it's cooking. So water should be running along that pipe round about now. Oh, I can hear something now. That's a lot of head pressure for it to get up there, but I know what flow the shower used to have, so I'm aiming for something similar. Don't really need an awful lot of water coming in that inline return, but yeah, could turn that valve down a tad. Oh, here it goes. What I'll do is I'll just tweak this valve closed just a tad. We'll see what difference that makes. Oh, the fish seem to like it. Yeah. So other than getting the roof on, I'm putting a permanent fixture in that gap there. We're almost there. Almost there. So I'm going to keep that hose running for a bit. I did have a think as well while I was waiting for the pond to fill up. It's going to be a lot easier filling this up to how I need it, because obviously if I'm turning the pump and everything off, which I've got to, because obviously I've got to close the only one outlet of the pond, then what I can do is just let that back flush just a tad. That'll fill that up a tiny bit, and yeah, do it that way. But yeah, I need to put my new valve on there. There's no point videoing that. I've got to unscrew that one, screw in the new one, and keep my fingers crossed, because I've heard that even the new ones are not that great. But there are a few fixes out there I've seen on YouTube. Humber Koi came up with it first, and a few other people have done it since. So yeah, I'll put the new valve on for now. Hopefully we'll be all good. And last but by no means least, now we've got a fully working filter system with Bakki shower and an EasyPod that can be cleaned, and also a Tempest. Food! So it's not another fish. And now you can actually see, or you'll see even better when the water's not green, some of the grow ones that I've got left. While they enjoy that small little snack, I am going to change the valve and say to you guys, thanks all for watching. Like the video if you haven't already, and we'll catch you on the next one.